This is the Business Experience Show, where we connect those who want to know more about digital marketing, social media, and business strategy with entrepreneurs who are succeeding in today's marketplace. Follow our blog, join our online network, or connect with us at thebusinessexperienceshow.com. And now, your host, Lisa Caprelli.
Joining us in studio is Michelle Waters. She's co-author of this wonderful book called The Orange Line.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm very honored.
Let's give our audience some background. You're from Australia, first of all.
Oh, I'm from Australia, yes. I came over to America 8 years ago now, and to live here I took up a job as a VP for a large company that had the biggest footprint of childcare in the US. And I also had met somebody, so that was another incentive to come over here. And before that, my career had been really determined by this work life, family, fit, and strategies I've developed and won awards for in Australia.
So when you moved to the United States, you hadn't even had a thought of the book yet?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. That was not on my agenda. I had no idea I was going to write a book.
So it really sounds like you and your co-authors, the backgrounds you have are diverse, but very very strong areas of expertise.
Yes, but also mothers trying to make work and life and family fit. And my co-authors both struggled when their children were young. They found it difficult giving up their career. That's what they decided they had to do, because one of them, their husband travelled, another one had a special needs child, and they couldn't work out how to do both. I decided, because I love small children, it was really appropriate for me to set up a business that was something that I could be near my children. So I loved that stage of my life, and then parlayed into the corporate life. After 9 years, I was close to 40 when I did that, whereas they weren't enjoying their time at home and couldn't work out for a number of years how to get back in. They did, but that delay, of course, jeopardizes a woman's finances. That jeopardizes their re-entry. So, you know, we heard these stories. We wanted to know, how are women doing it, having it all, but how could they have it all but not do it all?
And the book is called The Orange Line, and A Woman's Guide to Integrating Career, Family, and Life. But there are a couple lines that you use in the terminology. So let's start with the green line.
Well, the green line is a career-centric focus. So your career is all about work, and then other things take a secondary priority for you in your life. So that might be your art, or you know, any other hobbies. You might sacrifice your hobbies. The doctor that I go to, when I told her about the book, she was very sad because she decided she couldn't be a doctor, a wife, and have children. So she chosen not to have children. So that sort of career-centric focus often means someone else is supporting you and they're minimalising their career.
And so people who then leave that path, sometimes they make a complete swing in the other direction.
They go the other extreme, and we call that the red line. And that's where they do opt out for a certain amount of time, and that's more like the woman I just talked about that, you know, opted out. Now getting back in is really hard, and they bounce around. They never get the power, influence. They never develop all those other parts of themselves, you know, which may be, you know, in terms of a career, something that they can contribute and offer. Yeah, so it's about a middle line, and that's where you can have your career. It may ramp up or ramp down for a period of time, but you're staying on a trajectory that is on track, in the sense you are doing something that you really love. You might want to, you know, step out and stay with the children for a bit, or you may want to volunteer overseas. You're broadening your skills. But even if you're at home, there's some volunteer work thing you can get on a committee, and you're still developing other skills. So it's about saying, okay, this is what I love, this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to maintain that. But it's much more a paced and building muscle over time approach that isn't going to lead to burnout, and it's where both people in a relationship can both have a career. I'll give you an example. One woman who's an aeronautical engineer that we interviewed, her husband also is an engineer, decided that while the children are young, she's way back. She's actually orbiting satellites around the globe at the moment, so she's full on. She's still breastfeeding, I might add, but it's a very sort of taxing, tiring time. Sure. But she wants to take the time off when her children are in adolescence. So he's more supportive at this point. His career isn't progressing at the same rate he'd like, but they're going to switch. And there was many examples of what we call the orange line. A group of women who were doing this kind of middle approach, but having it all but not doing it all.
And what did they have that the others who don't have that have?
I think they had a very strong sense of self-worth. I think they had a strong sense of what their talents were and what they loved doing. And I know for myself, when I had a bout of cancer, people say, oh, she's crazy, she's so driven. I loved work. I loved the project I was on. It would be much more psychologically damaging for me to stay away from work rather than manage my treatment and work. So it's about knowing who you are.
For me, it was identifying myself with other mothers who did have the ambition to work, because I like to see into the future. Our children are going to go to school, and seeing beyond that, one day they're going to graduate and they leave you.
Yes.
And I'm the type that I wanted to, as a parent, as a mother, for me, getting your child for the world is a loving thing to do.
It's such great modelling too for the child to see that you're happy. I'll give you another example. A mother going back to work after maternity leave, and the 3-year-old says to the mother, because she notices she's getting dressed differently, where are you going, Mummy?
Right.
Oh, I'm going to work today. The baby's going into childcare, where you still go, and I'm going back to work. And the 3-year-old says, aren't you going to be my mummy anymore?
Aww.
Now, this is on your first day back at work.
Yeah.
The reframe is, I love you, I'm always going to be your mummy. You go off to childcare and you love that. I go off to work and I love that. And tonight we're going to talk about what we both did and what we both love.
Right.
So instead of going down back with the guilt, because what you're saying, Lisa, is you doing what you love.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Our children love to see us doing what we love. There's some research by Ellen Galinsky, who's the president of the Work Family Institute in New York, and they asked the children at 7 about their mum and dad working. What do you think? And the children came back with, we don't mind mum and dad working. We don't like them to come home basically stressed, meaning without time for us. That was the problem. We like mummy and daddy working because they could see the benefits. Children love their parents being happy. Children get really concerned when their parents are distressed. They feel it. They feel it's something to do with them. So they're the kind of this is the reframe, and not living up to everyone else's expectations. You've got a drive and a passion for what you want to do. You should do it. If it is being a stay-at-home mum, let those mums do that. If it's something else you have, you must do it.
Good advice.
Life is tricky, life is messy, life is hard. It is the way you cope with those challenges and not see them as things are happening to me, blaming everybody else. Yes, the employer doesn't give me this, whatever. You go to a different employer, negotiate what you need. I've always found with my employment, if I say and I'm fair and I give back, the women that were doing this well would say, look, I've got to, or I've got to go and pick up my son early and there's somebody sick or blah, blah. I'll jump online for it a bit later on and make sure I'm up to date with my emails. Employers are fine. Great. They're human too. It's all a negotiation. I always believe men and women are totally complementary. We should be able to work together. You know, I need you like you need me,
Right.
and we're just different, and so we need each other to collaborate and bring together strength.
And I found this through one of the Amazon reviews of the book, where it's not just working women. There's a woman who's retired, and she really enjoyed helping her understand sort of the dynamics that had taken place and the choices she had made.
Yes, yeah, I think it resonates with a lot of women, because they on almost every page they can say, "Oh, I could have responded that way," or I should have, you know, done it this way. But the other thing is, women are working a lot longer these days because, you know, A, that we're living longer, and B, we don't often have the finances to sustain ourselves. So there's a lot of women we met that are in transition for a whole new career. So they're starting again, and they can read this book because the book's segregated into stages of a woman's life, so it doesn't stop.
Well, this is great. I think this is a must-read for many women, especially family, integrating career, family, and life. The Orange Line. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching the Business Experience Show.
Thank you to both of you.